have some really, really big, juicy burgers, 8 ounces coming up last in the show. Listen, it's the biggest burger that QVC offers. It's the biggest burger we have. This is that burger that you get at the steakhouse, that fancy steakhouse, that fancy pub that you go to. And we'll talk about those shortly. But now we got to get into some prime rib. Okay. I'll put my burgers in for you guys. Burgers go in just like that. And that's it. Okay, great. Okay, let's get into it. Oh, I got to get something in real quick. All right. Because I'm going to make you guys a sandwich. So I have to be prepared. All right. All right, ribeyes. Okay. Another stock up and safe. We were talking about like good deals, right? If you go with the 12 count, I'm leading with this because I think it's important. Almost $30 if you go with the 12 count. Okay, that's wonderful. This is ribeye. This is, if you're a ribeye fan, you know the deal. They're not cheap. This is the most heavily marbled piece of meat on the cattle. This is cut from a prime rib, right? So if we love our prime rib, we love our ribeyes. The only difference is that obviously they're cut into steaks. But what I like about the ribeye is surface area. I'm able to sear both sides. Okay, you're still going to get that buttery, rich effect of the ribeye, but again, it's a steak, and that's why it's a ribeye. So again, oh, look at that. See? Oh, and did I say that they're marinated? Yes, they're marinated. And again, you see that crust? You know why I got that crust? Because I dried it before I cooked it. Oh, a little compound butter we made with that secret seasoning that Kansas City offers sometimes. Okay. Here we go. Oh boy. Oh, geez. There you go. Okay. So this is a garlic and herb marinated ribeye. That's right. 6 or 12. And this is boneless. So what you see is what you get. 9.5 ounces. That is a large piece of meat that could be shared or just could be completely devoured by my ribeye friends out there. Look at that. $99 gets it home for the 6 count. Ooh, I only have 250 for the 6. The 12, how many do we have? Less than 100. Well, I mean, listen, again, if you want a good deal, I would absolutely go with the 12 count. These are awesome in the freezer. Just pull them out, let them, relax on your countertop for 3 or 4 hours or in the refrigerator for 24 hours. And what you're going to get is this herbaceous marinated with a hint of garlic. Now, when I say garlic, I don't mean strong flavored garlic. I mean just the essence of garlic. Because if you know anything about garlic, if you chop it up really fine, that's when it becomes really pungent. When you simply kind of leave it whole and let it roast, it becomes sweet. So again, if you could think of the holidays when you have the prime rib in the oven and then the whole house smells like the holidays, this is what this smells like. Same thing. So again, look at the thickness. I love now this one. So I'm going to give you different temperatures. This one I did for my prime rib lovers out there, more on the rare, medium rare side. Okay. See that? And again, I feel like a lot of times prime rib lovers, they love rare, which is fine. But I just want to show you that, and I'm going to show you a couple other ones. And then you get to the end of that prime rib or that ribeye, and it gets a little bit more medium. Now, again, I let these rest not as long as I wanted the rest because you see a lot of that juice out there. But because of that marbling, and I'm going to show you in a second, that's what makes these so juicy. You can't dry them out. And again, just enough fat, just enough meat on these. Watch it. So how do they come? And I want to show you something really cool that we kind of started doing. So they come like this. Whoa, look at that. Okay. You see all the white lines? That's that marbling. The more marbling on a steak, the better it is because those white lines, they melt. Okay. But they're basting as they're melting. Think about that. Internally, there's nothing you can possibly do to make that steak better. You have to hope that it has enough white lines so that when you cook it, the white lines melt and they baste the steak and then you get a juicy steak. Okay. But how would you know, right? Here's how you know. Look at that. Now, again, we did something really cool here, something new. I'm not gonna be able to do this because my hands are a little slippery right now, but see this? Before, let's see if I can get a shot. See this right here? Before you had to kind of cut around. Now with this special packaging, all you're gonna do is pull this apart, comes in, just pull apart. Isn't that brilliant? It just makes, I don't know, it makes life easy because sometimes people don't want to use a scissor or they can't. But again, let me show you another one. Now this one is probably going to be more on the medium side, but let's just take a look. Oh. See how the juice is running? So doesn't that remind you of a prime rib? Like if you have the best prime rib ever and you just kind of started cutting slices like that, right? And there's something called the decal, which is kind of like the cap. And that has some, like right here, it has some serious concentrated flavor. And if you know, you know. Oh boy. So again, see this one? More on the meat. I let this one sat about, I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes. But you see how the juices are a little bit more clear. They're in the steak. But gosh, look at the juiciness. And by the way, the way this tastes, that's another level because it has this richness that if you ever just kind of look at a little fat, gotta have a little fat in there, right? Ribeye friends, you gotta have a little fat, but not too much fat. You don't have too much fat where it falls apart. See how this stays intact? A lot of times ribeyes, they fall apart because there's too much fat. The fat can't hold it together. But in this case, a little bit goes a long way. So should we make a sandwich? Should we make a prime rib sandwich? What do you think? Slice this up because this is 9.5 ounces. So I know that I can get a lot out of this, okay? And you'll see what I'm talking about. So again, all right. So what's the first thing we do? I take a nice little hamburger bun. I mop all those juices up. That's what you do. Because if you go to like a traditional Irish pub or whatnot, they do like sliced prime rib sandwiches. With the ribeye, I'm going to kind of duplicate that same effect. So again, get those juices, right? So if you're cooking this in the oven, juices are going to come out and you'll just literally take your bun and mop it up. Okay. First, I think we go with a little bit of horseradish. People love horseradish and prime rib. So little horseradish. Then what I do is I go in and I'm just going to layer some of that beautiful sliced meat. Okay? You can pile it up. I mean, again, you know your audience, right? So in this case, I would say that's about 4 to 5 ounces of steak. I'm going hot peppers because that's the way I like it. We call them Italian fried hot peppers in oil. Look at that, right? And what I like to do sometimes is go in with a little bit of cheese. If you have it, great. I like sharp provolone. And then that's it. That's the sandwich. But we have to put the lid on it. We have to cut it in half and see what it looks like inside. Okay. There we go. Just like that. Look at that. There's your sandwich. Yum, right? And yeah. Mm-hmm. 6 count, guys. I have 6. I have 200 left. Wow. Count. There's only 75 left. So remember, you have to the end of the day. But if you like these, go for them. Again, meat changes every day. I don't know what the price of these are going to be, but there is some savings here. If you go with the 12 count, almost $30. And we talked about it earlier. You want a good, listen, I want to feel like I got a good deal wherever it is, no matter what, I want to feel like it. And if I go with the 12 count, we didn't double the price of the 6. We saved you almost $30 for a 9.5 ounce garlic and herb boneless ribeye. So it's already marinated. There's no work here. In a pan, put it in a pan, put it in the oven. That's it. Want to put a little salt on it? Go for it. Okay. But there's something to be said about this particular ribeye because you know what? This is what you get at a steakhouse because, Kansas City Steak Company, we started with steakhouses. That's what we do. That's our business. And in 1995, we came to QVC. And the cool thing is we were able to touch that foodie audience that said, listen, I can't get out to the restaurant. I can't afford to go to the restaurant, but I need quality. I deserve quality in my house. And that's why I love this because this is quality. This is exactly what you would get there. But guess what? A 9.5 ounce ribeye at a steakhouse has to be close to $60, $65. That's just the way it is. fine. I get it. I go to steakhouses, but when I leave there, I always say, "Gee, I mean, I had a good time, but wow, like that price kind of that stinks." But I'm able to get these at my house and have that same experience. But again, this is ribeye. This is cut from the prime rib that you all love, our prime ribs. And look at that. Oh, a little freeze maybe. Okay. So again, that's the. Let's see how they come. Just like that. 12. Okay. And again, they fit really good. Give me 1 second. I think I'm ready to go. Yeah. And